pyramids. Now, everybody who knows the work I do, pyramids for doing clearings and enhancements. So I'm no stranger to how pyramids work and their benefits. How did you get involved in working with pyramid energy? Let's hear the story.
Well, actually, I fell out of a tree when I was 6 years old and landed on my head, went into a coma. And when I woke up, I could see nature spirits, angels, auras, and I could see my future. I had this reoccurring dream, and it had totem poles. It was in the forest, and it had a jaguar. And I just knew what I was going to do when I was a child. I got very interested in ancient history. I read every book I could on ancient history, from Greeks, Romans, Egyptians, Sumerians. And I found that pyramid energy, or pyramids, the largest construction project on our planet, was also the oldest science on our planet. And I believe they were built all over the earth so people could live longer and healthier and raise their consciousness. Whoever came here and built these things, they found the Earth's environment wasn't as good as where they came from, where they were absorbing too much detrimental radiation from the sun, so they created the pyramids to make an energy field that would be beneficial to extend their lives.
The pyramids, the great pyramids of Egypt. Now, like as you said, there's pyramids all over the world, and I've seen videos on YouTube with pyramids in Bosnia, pyramids in China, pyramids all over the place. They're more abundant than what we think of. Now, in your opinion, who built the pyramids in Egypt? Now, you really have to take a look at what is there and know that these things were not built by no stone-cutting human beings. They've got to come from a much higher consciousness. Who do you think built these things?
Okay, it was obviously a visitor. If you go and read through the Old Testament of the Bible, you'll see that it was almost an everyday occurrence that a God came along, or who they thought was God. Ezekiel sees a spaceship land in front of him, and the guy comes out in a bright, shining amber suit with a crystal over his head, and a spacesuit description. And these people were here. They came from another place. How could nomads in the Egypt that rode camels and lived in tents within 100 years build 80 or 90 pyramids, the biggest things ever put on the planet? It's impossible. Someone came down here and used the local labor to produce these things. And there's a lot of books now, like Christopher Dunn, about the Egyptian pyramids and how they were built using machines, because every piece of rock or stone in Egypt has machine marks. They were made by machines, the stones, the statues, everything.
You look at the pyramids. Now, there's also buildings all over the place. Tibet, these stones are cut with such extreme accuracy and precision that you can't even get a piece of paper in between the stones.
They're laser straight. And even Petrie, 150 years ago, noticed the little parallel lines on all the sides. Those are the cutting marks of the milling machine. They were cut straighter than we cut stone today.
They definitely can't be built by something from our dimension, from our time. And just knowing the energy of these pyramids, what they're capable of, it just makes you think that you have to think outside the box on this one, that somebody from another dimension, another time came down and put these things here for a reason. Now, the pyramids in Egypt and all over the world, are they still active?
They are to a certain point, but they're missing special parts, and especially the capstones. The capstones originally were called benbens, and they were brought from another planet to this planet. And when Herodotus, the Greek historian, said he was told by the Egyptian priests that the pyramids were built from the top down, what he was referring to is the capstone came, and then they built the pyramid underneath it to set the capstone on. And the capstones were taken out of Egypt, and I don't know where they are today, but they're someplace.
They're probably sitting with the Ark of the Covenant somewhere. Now, the pyramid, the way it's designed, it has this sacred geometry of pi.
Yeah, that's the Fibonacci ratio.
Now, when a pyramid is doing its thing, it's just standing there. My understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, like I want to learn off the master here because I work with pyramids, I want to make sure I got my facts right, is that at the very top of the pyramid starts off as positive ions, and as it slopes and comes down to the base, turns to negative ions.
That can be proved and it can be disproved. The pyramid is producing a lot of negative ions, which are very beneficial. It's like the same energy when you put your bare feet on the lawn and you feel good because you're picking them up from the air's surface. And it is an ion generator from the top. It is shooting off a lot of negative ions, like a ray machine.
That's one of the aspects of the pyramid is that it gives off the negative ions. I've seen testing where people would take 2 tomatoes off a vine and have one not under a pyramid and one under a pyramid, and the one under the pyramid will last a lot longer.
It'll tend to dehydrate but not putrefy. Same thing with meat. Plus, within 10, 15 minutes, the taste of the one in the pyramid is going to taste so much better than the ones not in the pyramid. It'll bust your taste buds explode.
I've also seen testing where they've taken a dull razor and put it under a pyramid, and it'll realign the edge of the blade, give it a sharper effect.
Right, it takes time, but if you really want to benefit from this thing, by the way, there's a patent by Charles de Ball in Czechoslovakia. That's a razor blade sharpener. But that was because razor blades were real expensive. Now you can go to a 99-cent store like I do and buy 10 for $1. And what I do, I keep the whole package inside of a pyramid. And when you shave with a new blade that's been in the pyramid, it becomes super sharp. And it's like you've never had a shave like this before. I call it an alien shave because you don't get nicks. And it's so close that you don't have to shave so often. You know, I shave like every 3 or 4 days. Where on regular razors, I would have to shave at least every 2 days. And for women, it's great for their legs because they don't get the nicks. And it's so sharp. That's the way to benefit. Don't worry about trying to save an old blade, because I have blades that I've used for years, and they stay in the pyramid all the time just to test what's going on. But when I discovered the new ones, they get so sharp, it's incredible.
How long would it take to sharpen one like that? Like, generally, does it take days, weeks?
I would say a couple of days. I throw the whole pack in there, so that pack lasts me a month or 2 months. So some of the blades have been in there for a month or longer, and it's unreal, especially if you have a mustache like I do, and you have to kind of shave under your nostrils. It's kind of painful sometimes. With the super blades, you don't even feel the blade.
Yeah, if anybody ever saw my picture, they'd see I go through a lot of razors. I shave it all. Okay, what type of people buy them? What do they buy them for?
It's professional people, of course, a lot of healers and doctors, but people that want something better out of life. You know, we got all these wars going on. We got pollution going on. Now they're paying you in California. They'll pay you to take your lawn out because of our water shortage, which is preposterous. You can sell your lawn to somebody now. So they want something new that's going to make their life better, and this is the oldest science on the planet. And once a person tries this, once you sleep under the pyramid, you will never go without it. Can you feel the lack of rejuvenation effects or anti-aging? You feel that you're not as comfortable, like most people describe it as being wrapped in a blanket of energy while you sleep, and a beautiful golden canopy above their bed. And your dreams get not only better, but sweeter and happier. Like you said in the beginning, it creates happiness, and it does. The life force, or rejuvenation, makes you itch, it makes you happy, and you feel better. Like when a cut heals, it starts to itch. You start scratching a lot when you sleep in the pyramid in the very beginning, because this is the effects of rejuvenation, healing.
My daughter, she's 7 months old, and I have a 4-inch small pyramid hanging over her crib. We put her to bed at 7 o'clock at night, And I've also got one over my son's bed. He has a 7-inch over his bed. Put him to bed at 8 o'clock. She goes to bed at 7 o'clock. And then my wife and I go down to the basement and have our own private time. The kids don't wake up until 7 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'll wake up with more energy. A lot of people sleep less. But you just feel better. You feel detox. It's like going to bed after you've had a few drinks, you wake up with a slight hangover. But that's the difference with the pyramid is it's as if you didn't have the drinks and you wake up without the hangover.
When I hold them over my client's head or hold them over the phone to do some work, I give it intent. I say certain words, and they will take the quantum energy and the ions and go in and do what your intent is given?
Yes. The pyramid amplifies positive energy or thought forms. And if you really want something to happen, you write it down, you put it in the pyramid, and you use unbending intent, and you say, this will happen. My Aunt Mary will get well. She will heal. And you put her picture, and you write down a note, and you put it in the pyramid, it will have healing effects.
So it almost works as a radionic device then?
Yeah. I have people emailing me all over the world saying how it's healed people that they've commanded to be healed. It's an amazing device.
When you're using the pyramid for sleeping, now, a lot of people come to me and say, Chris, I can't sleep at night. My head is always spinning around with anxiety. I get up and go to the bathroom. I come back to bed. I can't fall back to sleep. But I got ways to help them. By sleeping under a pyramid, exactly what is it doing within a person's physiological body?
What it's doing, it's balancing the chakras of the body. When the body's balanced, it can heal itself. You'll sleep naturally. You'll feel better. Everything gets better. So it's balancing the body.